Born beneath the blazing sun of Jalisco between red soil and blue skies, stands a plant that carries both sweetness and fire, the blue agave. From its heart comes a spirit unlike any other tequila. Each year, more than 600 million liters are distilled, flowing from Mexico's highlands to bars and homes across 120 countries. Yet behind every bottle lies a quiet question. Is what we drink still the same tequila crafted by the hands of generations, or has it become just another product of industry and speed? From the slow rhythm of the Jimador's blade to the pulse of stainless steel machines, this is the story of tradition meeting technology of pride, patience and identity in a world that rarely stops to taste. Tonight, we look beyond the glass to find the true spirit of tequila. In the heart of western Mexico lies Jalisco, a land where the red earth breathes warmth into the blue agave. Here, the journey of tequila begins, not with machines but with men. Under the hard noon sun, Jimadores move between the sharp leaves, each step guided by knowledge passed down for generations. With the curved blade of the coe, they strip the plant's spines one by one, revealing the heart, the piña heavy and glistening with sweet nectar. It takes 6, sometimes 8 years for one plant to reach this moment. Every cut is precise, for even a trace of bitter sap could ruin the soul of the spirit to come. Once harvested, the piñas are loaded by hand and sent to the ovens. In small family-run distilleries, ancient brick hornos still burn with volcanic stones, roasting the hearts slowly for days. The heat transforms starch into sugar, caramelizing the flesh into deep amber tones. The aroma is thick, smoky, almost sacred, a fragrance that speaks of patience. When cooled, the softened piñas are crushed beneath a stone wheel called the tahona, slowly drawn in circles by a quiet motor, once by mules or oxen. The tahona does more than extract juice. It preserves fibers, minerals, and the soft, earthy note that defines traditional tequila. From this mixture, the sweet juice aguamiel flows into wooden vats to ferment. Yeast, both wild and cultivated, begins its silent work, transforming sweetness into spirit. Copper stills then refine the liquid through fire, separating impurities, concentrating flavor, and lifting the heart of the agave into vapor. When cooled, the result is tequila in its purest form, a transparent, fiery reflection of the land itself. But across the valley, another rhythm has emerged. In towering steel buildings, thousands of piñas move along conveyor belts. Machines split steam, crush, and extract them with mechanical precision. Autoclaves replace brick ovens, roller mills replace the tahona, and stainless steel columns distill with mathematical efficiency. Here, one day of work can produce what a small horno would take a week to create. The flavor is lighter, smoother, more consistent, a style made for the global bar. Between these two worlds, the rustic and the refined, stands the question of identity. Is tequila still defined by the land and the hands that make it, or by the market that consumes it? On every bottle, one small label carries the truth: 100% de agave for the pure spirit, or mixto for those blended with sugars to lower costs. To the casual drinker, both may seem the same. But to those who care, to those who listen, the difference is profound. One carries memory, the other convenience. As the sun sets over Jalisco, fires glow in the brick ovens, while steam hisses from modern autoclaves down the road. Two paths, one spirit. The question remains, can both preserve the soul of tequila? For centuries, tequila was made in small villages in slow rhythms that matched the pulse of the land. But as the world began to drink faster, everything changed. In the last 20 years, demand for tequila has more than tripled, driven by cocktail culture and global marketing. Bars in New York, London, and Tokyo now pour it as easily as whiskey or gin. For Mexico, it became not only a tradition, but an export, a billion-dollar promise. Yet behind every promise lies a price. In the agave field, cycles of abundance and scarcity have become as predictable as the seasons. When demand surges, farmers plant more. When prices fall, fields are abandoned. Agave takes years to mature, but the market moves in months. The result is a constant race, a struggle between patience and profit. Distilleries faced a choice: wait or mechanize. In the industrial facilities of Jalisco and Nayarit, massive steel autoclaves now replace the humble brick hornos. These pressure chambers cook the piñas in a fraction of the time, converting starch into sugar with steam instead of flame. Efficiency is the goal, and they achieve it. What once required 5 days can now be done in 12 hours. Nearby, enormous roller mills spin relentlessly, tearing fibers apart, while jets of water wash away the sweet juice. Nothing is wasted. Each liter is measured, optimized, and accounted for. For global producers, such precision is not greed, but necessity. The world wants consistency, every bottle identical to the last, no matter where it's poured. In modern distilleries, computers monitor temperature and pressure to the decimal. Fermentation tanks made of stainless steel ensure purity free from contamination. Safety, hygiene, and scalability, the holy trinity of modern production. And yet something is lost. Traditional tahona wheels crush the piñas, gently preserving minerals and oils that give tequila its earthy tone. Autoclaves, while faster, strip away the smoke and caramel notes born of volcanic stone and wood. The flavor becomes clean, efficient, but quieter. For many connoisseurs, that silence is what they fear most, a spirit without its voice. To protect authenticity, Mexico's Tequila Regulatory Council, or CRT, enforces strict rules. Every distillery is given a 4-digit NOM number, printed on the bottle, a signature of origin. Labels like 100% de Agave and Hecho in Mexico guarantee that the tequila was distilled within specific regions under certified standards. These small markings have become the new language of trust, especially for drinkers abroad who wish to honor the craft rather than just consume it. Still, technology is not the enemy. In the hands of master distillers, machines are tools, not replacements. Some producers blend both worlds, roasting part of their agave in traditional hornos for flavor, while using autoclaves for efficiency. Others age their tequila longer, balancing modern purity with the complexity of time. It's a delicate equation. The more you standardize, the more you risk erasing the fingerprints of place. But without innovation, the craft itself might not survive the global stage. Perhaps the truth lies not in rejecting machines, but in remembering why they were built to serve the spirit, not define it. And as we sip and savor the result, another question rises quietly from the glass. If every bottle looks perfect, tastes predictable, and sells effortlessly, then where does authenticity truly live? In Mexico, tequila is not just a drink, it is identity distilled into liquid form. Across Jalisco, Nayarit, and Guanajuato, it connects families, villages, and history. For many locals, seeing it become a global brand brings pride and unease. The world finally tastes their heritage, but it also reshapes it. In a small distillery outside Aranda's Maestra Tequilera, Ana Ruiz walks through the cooling room, her hands tracing the sides of copper stills polished by years of fire and steam. She smiles faintly. My grandfather used to say, she recalls, "If you don't sweat when you make it, it's not tequila." Her words carry more than nostalgia, they carry defiance. For Ana, machines can help, but they can never feel. A computer can read temperature, she says, but it can't tell when the agave is happy. In nearby towns, older Jimadores gather under the shade of mesquite trees, sharpening their coals. Their backs are bent, their palms scarred, yet their pride remains unbroken. They've heard of new companies harvesting with machines, but they shake their heads. Maybe faster, one says, but not better. For them, tequila is sacred work, a conversation between man, soil, and time. Yet the change is not only in Mexico. In the United States and Europe, tequila has become the spirit of celebration. Margaritas flow in summer neat, pours in winter. The drink once reserved for dusty cantinas now graces crystal glasses in high-end bars. American consumers alone drink more than half of the world's supply, a staggering testament to global love, but also a burden. To meet that demand, many distilleries double their output every few years. In London, mixologist Peter Hughes runs a small bar specializing in aged spirits. He wipes down a row of bottles, each labeled with its NOM number. "People think all tequila tastes the same," he says softly, "until you pour them one from a traditional tahona. Their eyes go wide. It's not just a drink, it's a story." As prices rise, counterfeit and low-quality mixto tequilas flood the shelves. Sweetened, blended, and branded with golden labels, they tempt newcomers who never read the fine print. Online debates flare among enthusiasts. Is industrial tequila real tequila? The answers divide families, friends, even bartenders. Some argue that innovation is survival, others call it betrayal. At the same time, environmentalists raise another alarm. Industrial waste known as vinazas pollutes rivers near production zones, while the expansion of agave monocultures threatens biodiversity. Critics warn that without balance, the land that gave tequila its heart may one day grow silent. But the story isn't just about loss. In the highlands, new cooperatives of farmers and distillers are replanting native agave, reviving forgotten methods, and embracing transparency. Visitors can trace each bottle back to the exact field and worker who harvested it. Technology, when guided by ethics, becomes an ally, not a thief. As the sun sets over Arandas, Anna lifts a glass toward the light. The liquid glows amber soft as dusk. "You see," she says, "this is not just alcohol. It's memory. It's the sound of the land breathing." And yet one question lingers in the air, like the scent of roasted agave. Who decides what is truly authentic? The law, the market, or the people who still make it with their hands? In recent years, the shelves of supermarkets from Los Angeles to Berlin have filled with new brands of tequila, sleek bottles, gold caps, polished labels. Many promise authentic Mexican flavor, but behind the shine, a quiet truth hides in plain sight. More than half of the tequila sold globally is not 100% agave. It is mixto diluted with sugar syrup and artificial flavorings. It looks the same, smells familiar, but something essential has changed. Investigations by journalists and independent experts reveal that in some industrial plants, agave is shredded, soaked, and stripped of its essence in giant diffusers machines capable of extracting every last molecule of sugar within hours. What remains is pure efficiency, but little soul. In blind tastings, traditional tahona tequilas show earthy warmth, slow sweetness, a whisper of smoke. Diffuser-made tequilas taste thin, metallic, almost sterile. Yet for many consumers, the difference is invisible and the profits are immense. Even the label 100% agave is no longer a guarantee of purity. Some producers legally add flavor enhancers, caramel coloring, or glycerin to create the illusion of age or smoothness. Under current regulations, these additives are allowed small percentages hidden within acceptable limits. The bottle may still say 100%, but the spirit inside tells another story. Within Mexico, this has sparked an argument that reaches far beyond taste. It is about truth. Can a spirit born from the patience of nature survive the shortcuts of modern economics? Can an industry built on pride and tradition stay honest in a world ruled by volume and speed? Social media has amplified the debate. Younger consumers demand transparency. Older distillers demand respect. Hashtags like "Know Your Tequila" and "Respect the Jimador" rise in protest, urging drinkers to read their labels to care where their spirits come from. At the same time, tourism campaigns paint idyllic pictures of agave fields and smiling workers' images designed to reassure to sell the dream of authenticity even when the product has drifted far from it. For many, the line between marketing and reality grows thinner each year. And somewhere between the steam of the autoclave and the hum of the diffuser, the heart of tequila trembles. because the question is no longer just how it is made, but what it has become. Is the tequila in your glass a story of land and labor or just another formula perfected by the market? The answer, as you will see, is not simple, and it may change the way you drink forever. The truth, as it turns out, is not a single story, but two halves of one world trying to live together. On one side stand the traditional distillers, those who still roast their piñas in stone hornos, who still listen for the soft crack of caramelizing agave before beginning the crush. On the other, the modern producers who have turned tequila into a precision industry capable of feeding a global market without pause. Both claim to protect Mexico's heritage. Both in their own way are right. To understand what separates authenticity from imitation, you must learn to read a bottle like a book. Every true tequila carries a code, 4 small digits, the NOM number engraved quietly on the label. It tells you exactly where the spirit was made by whom and under which standards. A second line, Hecho en Mexico, confirms it was distilled within the designated regions of origin. And then, the most important phrase, 100% de agave. Without those 3 marks, what you are holding is not tequila, but a shadow of it. For the discerning drinker, these details matter. Choosing a bottle is not about prestige, but respect for the hands that planted, cut, and roasted the agave. A genuine tequila should tell a story of place, not perfection. Look for subtle signs, the hint of smoke, the whisper of mineral sweetness, the warm, lingering spice. These are not flaws. They are fingerprints. Critics of industrialization argue that machines strip tequila of its soul, that technology reduces a living craft to chemistry, and yet many maestros tequileros see things differently. The goal isn't to erase tradition, says master distiller Javier Campos, it's to protect it from extinction. His distillery uses both brick ovens and autoclaves, balancing old and new. Half of his agave is slow roasted for flavor, the rest steamed for efficiency. The result is a hybrid spirit, clean but not sterile, modern yet rooted in the soil. In the quiet of his aging room, rows of oak barrels rest beneath a thin veil of mist. We need machines, Javier says, but only if they remember who they serve. For him, technology is not the enemy. Indifference is. Indeed, the global revival of high-quality tequila is being led by producers who blend ethics with innovation. They track each agave from field to bottle, reduce water waste, recycle bagasse fibers, and treat workers as partners, not laborers. Some distilleries even publish full production data, roasting hours, yeast strains, barrel age, allowing drinkers to trace every step of the process. Transparency, not secrecy, has become the new luxury. Still, there are voices of doubt. You can't automate taste, argues Ana Ruiz, the maestra tequilera we met earlier. You can make it perfect on paper, but not in the heart. And perhaps she's right. For all the innovation, for all the glowing marketing campaigns, true tequila still depends on the fragile balance between fire time and touch. In the end, the argument is not about machines or purity, but about meaning. When you raise a glass of tequila, you're not just tasting alcohol. You're tasting the patience of 6 years of sun, the labor of the Jimador, the fire that softened the heart of the agave, and the judgment of those who chose not to rush. So the next time you're at a bar and a bottle catches your eye, take a second before you order. Turn it around. Find the nom. Read the label. Ask yourself who made this and how. Because the difference between a drink and a legacy lies in knowing what you're drinking and why. Across Mexico's agave heartlands, a quiet revolution is underway. It doesn't roar with machinery or shimmer with glass towers. It hums in the rhythm of hands, hearts, and shared purpose. Small cooperatives of farmers, distillers, and scientists are reimagining tequila from the ground up, not as a product, but as a partnership with the land. In the highlands near Los Altos fields, once scorched by over-farming, now bloom again with young agave interplanted with wild herbs and mesquite. We learned the hard way, says Carlos Mendoza, a farmer in his 60s. The earth gives only if you listen. His cooperative limits planting density, rotates crops, and returns spent bagasse, the leftover fiber, to the soil as compost. The machines help us measure, he says, but the heart tells us when to stop. Further down the valley, a new generation of distillers embraces what they call transparent tradition. At Destilleria San Felipe, visitors can walk the entire process from roasting piñas in hybrid brick and steel ovens to tasting fermentation directly from open vats. Monitors show temperature curves and sugar levels in real time. We don't hide the machines, says founder Lucia Torres. We show them because they work for us, not instead of us. Lucia represents a quiet shift in Mexico's tequila story, the rise of women in a field once dominated by men. Her mastery of both science and heritage has earned her global recognition. Yet she measures success differently. If a visitor leaves understanding one thing, she says, that tequila is alive, then I've done my job. Across the ocean in Madrid, retired bartender Javier Molina holds a small tasting class every Friday. His hands tremble slightly as he lifts a glass of añejo, swirling it before the light. You don't drink tequila. He tells his students, you converse with it. He teaches them to smell first, to find the faint smoke, the whisper of vanilla, the memory of the soil. He speaks softly about reposado, aged, just long enough to mellow but not forget where it came from. The secret, he says, is respect. You sip slowly, you listen, you remember. And in New York, a new movement of conscious consumers echoes that sentiment. Bars now feature origin menus, listing NOM numbers and distillery names beside each pour. Some even trace the Jimador's cooperative and the year of harvest. For older drinkers, especially those who lived through decades of industrial change, this return to transparency feels like coming home. We grew up trusting labels, says Peter Hughes, the London bartender we met earlier. But now, we trust stories. Behind every innovation lies an old truth. Rediscovered progress doesn't mean replacing the past, it means carrying it forward. From soil to spirit, sustainability has become more than an environmental word. It's an ethical compass. Distilleries recycle water power their ovens with solar heat and use agave waste to make biodegradable packaging. Tequila, once a symbol of excess, is learning humility again. In this convergence of human care and mechanical precision, the craft is being reborn. The old wisdom of the Jimador now lives alongside sensors and data charts. The smell of roasting agave mixes with the quiet hum of automation. Somewhere between those two worlds lies harmony, a place where neither tradition nor technology stands above the other, but together serves something greater: integrity. Perhaps that's the real definition of authenticity. Not resistance to change, but fidelity to purpose. When you raise a glass of tequila,